So I want to remind you straight out of the gate about making your coaching calls. So ladies, if you have not done that, get on top of it. Get your personal coaching calls on the calendar. They're really important. February is like one of those months we go into, and it's, we're kind of coming out of January from the holiday. And I want to tell you right now, it's time to push. It is time to find your legs. You almost said your sea legs. Get your sea legs on. It's time to push and fight for you. It's dark, it's gray, it's cold in a lot of areas across the globe. And not in Australia. It's summertime. So I want to go to Australia right now with some of you ladies that are from Australia. But I'll tell you what, in the States, most of the States, it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, it's snowy, it's gray, it's dark, it's yuck, right? And so it is time today to start really getting on track if you haven't. And some of you have just been kind of dwindling out there, all right? It is so true that summer bodies are made in the winter. I've had women that come on and they're like, I want to see if how much time I have. I've got like 4 or 5 weeks till my vacation, and I really want to know what you can help me do, Allie, in 4 or 5 weeks. And I sit there and I look at their post or whatever, wherever it's said, and I'm like, holy crap, you should have came on like 6 months ago. You don't wait till 4 weeks before a trip. You don't wait for 4 weeks before a trip to go. I got to transfer my entire body. That doesn't work. And it's that mentality of going on a diet or off a diet. So, what I wanted to talk to you guys, you ladies, about tonight is just getting your head in the game. Now, some of you have your head in the game, and some of you clearly do not. You came on here, a lot of you, there's a lot of you ladies here tonight that are 1 year clients. That means you signed up for a year. All right. And some of y'all signed up for a year and then got lazy and you just think, I have a year. No, you don't have a year. You came on here to work for a year to change and transform your life. You spent the money to be here for a year. You paid for a year in advance. Have one client pay for 2 years in advance. Whoa, geez, serious, right? And you paid for that time in advance. And here's what it looks like. It looks like go time. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like go time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fight. We're going to put up a fight to get to our goals, right? So if you're here for a year or however many months you're here, it is time to make some real good progress. Get your head back in the game. And that's what I wanted to talk to you all about this evening. Getting your head in the game. And what does that look like? A lot of times we're just dwindling out there. Like that's my word, I guess, for tonight. We're just dwindling and we're thinking, oh, you just can't seem to get motivated. Okay. But what we want to do is we want to have something in front of us to motivate us. Now, I have people ask me, women ask me all the time, Allie, how do you stay motivated? I don't. I don't stay motivated. Do not stay motivated. I just don't. I don't always want to get up and work out. I don't always want to get up and go to the gym. I don't always want to eat right. I don't, still to this day. And I've been in this journey quite a few years. So motivation is not your friend, girl. Motivation is one of those bad friends. She sticks around while everything's feeling great. And the next thing you know, she's stabbing you in the back. She's calling you names. All that stuff. That's how motivation works. She's not a good friend. She's a friend that will betray you when you need her most. That's what motivation does. I used to depend on motivation. And I remember how many times I let motivation stop me because she was gone. And I just don't feel like going to the gym today, so I wouldn't. I don't feel like eating right today. Those cookies sound better than that chicken breast over there with some barbecue sauce. Ah, That fudge sounds so much better. You know, stopping by even Burger King is better than eating that broccoli, you know? And here I'm sitting there. I didn't feel motivated to eat right. No, you don't feel motivated to eat right. It's called discipline. You know, we want to sacrifice what we want long term. That's why you signed up, right? You have a goal, you want to hit it. And we want to sacrifice our long term goals for our short term wants. Did you hear me? Right now, we might want a pizza. Right now, we might want fudge. Right now, we might want ice cream. But long term, I want to be fit, healthy, and strong. And we keep sacrificing what we want long term for what we want in the short term. And we never, because of that, we never get to those goals. And we tell ourselves it's just too hard. I just can't do it. Yes, you can. You've done much harder things than put down the ice cream spoon. You have done much harder things in your life than push the ice cream away. You have done hard things in your life. And if you want this, if you want it, if you came on it by babes, you said, I want it. But when it comes down to it, how many times are you going to sacrifice your future goals for what you want right now? You know, that's part of having kids. They don't want to do their homework, right? Mom, I just want to play video games for a while. I don't want to clean up my room. Gosh, why do I have to clean up my room right now? Why do I have to do my homework right now? Why can't I just play video games for a while? Why can't I go hang out with my friends for just a little bit and I'll come back and I'll do my homework later? And you know, they're not going to come back and do their homework later. They forgot all about it. They're over at whoever's house until you call them going, are you coming home? But see, we're adults and we're doing kind of the same thing, aren't we? We're like, I want that. I want to graduate with honors. You know, maybe your kid doesn't want to, but they want to have a good paying job when they grow up. They this, that, and the other. And we want to be fit and healthy and strong. And we say that, and then we compromise everything. And we don't get there and we get frustrated. And we're upset. It's taken longer than I think, Allie. I don't understand why I've got to push so hard. It's a fight, it's a battle. Anything of value will cost you something. How valuable is that to you? How valuable is your health to you? Is it worth sacrificing what's in front of you that you want right now? Is it worth it? Some of you haven't had that discussion with yourself yet. Having a high A1C, having type 2 diabetes, having high cholesterol, not feeling the best about ourselves and where we are physically and health-wise and what we look like in the mirror. And we keep compromising our goal of getting well, getting healthy, getting strong, changing the look of our physique. We keep compromising it for the things the easy things we can grab right now. And here's the thing, success costs you something. Success costs you those little things that you want right now that are going to compromise the goal at the end. It's going to cost you those. You've got to be willing to give it up and say, you know, I keep compromising my goals for this right in front of me. I want this, but I want that out there. And I'm going to tell you that out there is valuable. Having your health, living a long, healthy, strong life, being confident about yourself when you look in the mirror, trying on new clothes, and being confident and feeling like, oh my gosh, knowing that you earned it. Because getting to your physique goal and your health goal is not given to you. It's earned. It's not given to you. it is earned. It requires sacrifice. It requires doing it when you're not motivated to do it. Like I said, motivation will leave you. Here's how you get to your goals. You set the goal in front of you continually, again and again. You put it up on a wall somewhere. You write something on your mirror. You have reminders on your phone. You have short-term goals that get you to that long-term goal. So today, here's what I want you to do. I want everyone that watches this video, everyone who's here tonight, to have a short-term goal. If you don't have one, if you don't have something coming up in the next 4 weeks, I want you to set up something in the next 4 weeks that's going to push you to fight for 4 weeks, right? What does that look like? It might be a photo shoot in 4 weeks. It might be a number goal that you have, or something, a step goal, or something like that. I'm going to hit my calories and macros so many times over the next 4 weeks. And then I'm going to, something that you look forward to, and it puts some skin in the game. Some of you don't have any skin in the game. You're just thinking, I'm just kind of putting it off right now, right? It's time to quit putting it off. You're here at Bod Babes. You came home for a reason. It's time to quit putting it off. And it's time to pay the price for that goal. You know, we go into a store and we might see something that we really want, and it's valuable. Whatever that might be, it's valuable. You know, I want you to think about something maybe in your life that you've wanted that cost you a lot of money. Maybe a home, maybe a vehicle. I'll tell you about one of mine. One of mine was to own my own home again. Wade and I started our lives over at the age of 51, and I had nothing. I literally had a little tote full of clothing. I'm talking not a full-size tote, a little tote about this big full of clothing, a hair dryer, and a curling iron. That's all I owned. That's it. I had no savings. I had no insurance. This is at age 51 in 2019 and 2020. And I wanted to have my own home again. And it looked so far off. Oh my gosh, it looked so far off. How in the world can I start over at the age of 51 with nothing? I felt embarrassed. I felt sad. I felt scared. No health insurance, nothing. I didn't even have a car. I borrowed my son's car. And I just looked overwhelming to get to that goal of how in the world can I ever have a house again? I walked away from every single thing, and I went to apply for jobs, and guess what? No one wanted to hire a musician, a broke musician. I felt like such a failure. And then COVID hit. And in the middle of COVID, I walked into Kroger and I asked for a job. This is in 2020 and guess where they started me? $11.20 an hour at the age of 51, 20 to 30 hours a week. That was in 2020. And my goal looked so far away. How could I not only get a home, but how in the world could I ever survive with my thoughts? How do I live? What am I going to do when I get older? I have no retirement. What am I going to do? How am I going to rescue myself? It was overwhelming. And, you know, in the middle of that, it required I either sink or swim. Either I'm going down with the ship and this is all I've got and there's no help for me, or I'm going to fight my way out of this. And I chose to fight, not knowing how I would ever get out. And last July, we bought our home. And it's a beautiful home. It's got some ugly wallpaper. And it's got white carpet in the bathrooms, girlfriend. But you know what? It's a beautiful home in a neighborhood I thought I could never live in. And that's true. It's a blessing from God. But I had to fight for it. Why did I tell you that story? Because it took discipline. It took discipline. I saw no way to get to my goal. And maybe today you're just overwhelmed with it all. And you think, I came on a Bod Babes and I don't think my body's ever going to change. And I just don't think I can do this. It's hard. And I just want to give up. And I just want to not make the sacrifice because I don't even know if it's going to work. Do you think that whenever I started my fitness journey, I would think that I would be here where I am today? No. I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't. I didn't know if I would be here. All I knew is that everything I had tried did not work. And I kept giving up on myself again and again and again. And I kept sacrificing what I want long term for what I want right now. And I never could get to what I wanted long term because I kept sacrificing it for what I want right now. And I know you hear me, ladies, and you keep sacrificing that long term goal for what you want right now. And you want to give up on yourself, and it looks overwhelming, and you want to quit. Guess what? You'll never, ever get to your goal if you continue that process. Never. You will not get to your goal if you continue that process. Something valuable that you want, like this health journey, I'm going to say it again because you need to hear it. This health journey, this physique change goal that you have in front of you, it's valuable, but it's earned. It's not given to anyone, it's earned. And it's going to cost you something. And the thing that I want you to ask yourself is if you're tired of being where you've been, and if you're tired of spinning your wheels, because that's hard, getting to your goal is hard. And staying where you are and have been is hard. Having type 2 diabetes is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Having a high A1C is hard. Having muscle loss and low self-esteem is hard. Having high blood pressure and high cholesterol is hard. Those are hard. Eating right is hard. Getting to your goal is hard. It's really hard. Which hard are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the easy way out that's not so easy? We want to choose the easy way out. We want to sacrifice our long-term goals for what we want right today. I don't feel like doing it. You're exactly right. I don't feel like doing it either. Motivation, girl, it's not going to get you anywhere because she leaves you. She leaves you when you need her most. But discipline says, I will do it even when I don't feel like doing it. One thing I learned from my dad is he was in the military. He has shrapnel all through his body. He fought in Vietnam, and my dad died 3 times. He stepped onto a landmine in the ground that was filled with nuts, bolts, and all kinds of metal objects. And he was thrown 45 feet into the air, and shrapnel went all through his body at the age of 19. My dad is now 76 years old, and he has hundreds of pieces of shrapnel through his body. And one thing that my dad has been in so much pain his whole life. And my dad is a fighter. At the age of 71, his house burned down. And when I told you about me having nothing was when I went to my father's house and in the borrowed car that I had for my son, and I drove to Ohio, and I just wanted to let my parents know how sad I was. And I'm sitting in a little tiny, they called it mom's, not man cave, but it was a she shed. And we were all sleeping in that she shed when I went to stay at my parents' house. My parents were showering at one point with a garden hose in the wintertime on the back porch naked, showering each other in a little she shed. Thank God the she shed did not burn down. And I sat there in front of my parents and was so sad about what I had. I had nothing, told Dad. And my dad went and got me. He said, okay, you brought all your clothes here in a little tub. You and your mom are going shopping tomorrow, and mom's going to get you a really nice luggage to put your clothes in. There's no sense in you putting that in your little tote with no lid. And my mom went out to the barn and she got me these cups. And these little cups she had their canning jar drinking glasses that are blue. And my mom went out there and there was 4 of them. And she brought them in and she said, baby, I want you to have these. And I went to bed that night on a little pull-out couch they had, because that's all they had for me to sleep on. And it hit me. I looked around me and I thought, I am in a she shed with my 70-something-year-old parents whose house burned to the ground. And I'm telling them how sad I am for me. My mom literally gave me cups that she was holding on for a new house. And here my dad is body full of metal and pain at over 70 years old. And it hit me. Oh my God. Like, why am I not fighting for myself? My dad began building his home with his own hands. At the age of 71, with shrapnel all through his body. My dad was hurting. He was not motivated, but he got up and he fought. And it changed his life. And I'm going to tell you this. For those things that you want in life, I hope that you see, I learned from my father, a military man, that motivation gets you 0 places. My dad didn't feel like rebuilding a house over 70 years old. They had nothing left. Their house burnt to the ground. They were living in an outbuilding. Thank God they had that. They didn't feel like it. It cost them something. It cost them a lot. They lost all their memories, all the stuff, but they fought. And sometimes I wonder if we've allowed ourselves to feel that kind of pain that would make us get up and fight. Because I was in pain and I wanted to lay down and just give up. And some of you are right there right now. You don't want to fight for yourself and for your goals. You just want to lay down. And I don't know why I'm not motivated, Allie. I just can't. I just can't do it. It's just too hard for me. No, it's not. It's not too hard for you. But you've got to discipline yourself and you've got to remember why you're fighting. I looked at my parents and I was ashamed. And I realized I've got more fight in me than this. I'm giving up on myself at age 51. Are you kidding me? I got my butt in the gym, and you know what I did? I fought for my health. Because I was not going to give up on myself ever again. I am not giving up on myself ever again. I tried that and it sucked. Feeling like you have no hope? Ladies, that sucks. That's hard. Feeling like you can't accomplish something and that you don't have what it takes and just humdrumming through life. Oh God, Phyllis, I just don't understand. This is so hard for me. It is hard. Anything of value is going to cost you something. But you're worth fighting for. And you need to quit giving up on yourself. You've given up on yourself again and again and again and again. And I'm almost 60 years old. And I'm done giving up on myself. because I did that, and that sucks. That is an awful way to eke your way through life, is to give up on yourself and to not believe in yourself and to not fight for yourself and to let yourself just eke out on life. That is a hard life, and you don't have to have that life. And guess what? Fighting for your goals can be lonely, and it can be hard, and it can be painful. And you just feel alone and just, can I do this? I don't know. I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, I can't do that anymore. I can't keep giving up on myself. I can't keep quitting on myself. I can't let myself just lay there and just give up on myself anymore. I'm not going out like that. I can't go to my deathbed thinking what a failure I was, that I just kept quitting on myself. Well, girlfriend, you can let everybody else quit on you, but don't you dare quit on you ever again. You fight for you. You deserve that. You deserve to see how strong that you are, because you can change your life and you can change your health and you can accomplish some of the most amazing things. There was a drummer that lost one of his arms. Was he the drummer for Led Zeppelin, ladies? I can't even remember who he was the drummer for. Lost one of his arms, told he'll never drum again. And that man has drummed on some of the biggest stages. He learned how to play with one foot. For that arm that he was missing. He learned how to play the drums on a professional stage all over the world. I had a client who was told she's never going to walk again, hit by a truck standing beside the road. The truck hit her body. She was told, you'll never walk again. She died. They brought her back to life. She was in the hospital 3 months. They had to remove major portions of her leg muscle, her big muscles. Told her she'd never walk again. She came on at Bod Babes, ended up losing over 100 pounds, and outwalked every client I've got. Every client, 25, 30,000 steps a day. And I said, Marilee, how do you do that? She said, when someone tells you you'll never walk again, she said, you either lay down and give up or you get up and fight. And she said, I got up and I'm still fighting to this day. I'm still fighting, Allie. I'm not going to let someone outwalk me. She fought. You got to get up and fight. And you got to quit compromising and giving up on those big goals for what you want right now that's failure to you. What you keep choosing is failure. And you got to get up and say, no more of this bull crap that I've been doing to myself and feeling sad for myself. I was sitting right there in my dad's home feeling sad for myself, and it's something I chose. Oh, woe is me. How am I going to ever survive this? Guess what? I could have stayed right there and I could have went out just like that on life and been justified saying, I just was 51 years old and I had nothing and nobody helped me. And guess what? It's been a horrible life. I could have stayed right there and found justification for what I was doing to myself, allowing myself to stay right there. Or I can get up and fight and take my chances on myself and figure it out. And that's hard. Ladies, that's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you lots of something. But this over here, giving up on yourself, guess what that costs? That feels much worse. When you get on the side of it and you're fighting with discipline, you're like, I don't feel like doing this today. I hate this process. This sucks. But when you start seeing your goals get accomplished, it feels good. that discipline that gets you to that goal, and you start seeing that goal come to pass, and you look at those pictures and you think, oh my God, look at my arms. Look at my body changing. Look how I'm feeling. I'm feeling strong. I feel like a champion. I am got energy I've never had before. And when you get there, ladies, and you start feeling like that, I'm going to tell you, when you fight and you start seeing results and you start feeling better, oh my God, that feeling of being confident and strong and believing in yourself, it's worth it. So quit compromising on yourself. Put a goal in front of yourself. Put it where you can see it every stinking day, because you're forgetting what you're fighting for. You're forgetting why you're fighting and why it's important to you. If it's just to lose 10 pounds, girl, that ain't even going to motivate you. Find what you need to fight for. Put it in front of you. Put a time, a deadline on some short-term goals and say, you know what? By this time next month, this is what I'm going to have accomplished. And it's like dominoes, and you keep adding up those small successes, those small wins. You have a new goal every month. And you say, this is my goal for the month. And I'm going to fight to hit that goal. And you don't use motivation, you use discipline. And you say, I'm going to hit my nutrition goal every day this week. And then you accomplish that. And then you celebrate it. And then next week, I'm going to hit my nutrition and step goal every day this week. And you accomplish it. And you hit those goals and you celebrate yourself, and you quit beating yourself up and beating yourself down, saying it's never going to happen to me. It's never going to happen for me. Because if you keep believing those lies, it will never happen for you, because you'll never fight for it, because you already don't believe it could ever happen. And why are you going to fight for something that you don't believe is ever going to happen for you? You're not. So you don't fight for all that. Here's what you fight for. You fight for not what the scale says. You fight for, did I hit my goal? My goal of step goal, my food goal, my protein goal, my calorie goal. Because when you control the inputs, you'll get to that goal. But you got to do what it takes to get there. It doesn't come easy, ladies. It doesn't come easy. But it is worth it. It is worth it. When you feel that strength rising up in yourself, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, you know what? I am a 60-year-old woman, and I have turned my entire life around after the age of 50. When you can say that and you look in the mirror at yourself, it is empowering. It makes you feel like a freaking superhero. That is such an amazing feeling, and it's worth giving up the ice cream that you want tonight for the goal that sits in front of you. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, and I'm going to let you go, we're late, but listen. There's a scripture that says to put it in front of you. Put the vision in front of you. Write it down and make it clear so that those who read it can run that read it. You got to have a vision. You got to put it up in front of yourself. Why you're fighting. Here's what I'm fighting for. And if it doesn't make you want to run, it is not big enough. You got to write it down. You got to put pictures of it up in front of you. Put it on your phone. You got to tell somebody. This is what I'm doing. I'm changing my life. And they're going to think you're crazy. And some of them aren't going to believe in you at all. And that's why you fight. They aren't going to believe in you. They're not going to think you can do it. They're going to think you're going to give up on yourself like you did every other time. And some of them are going to walk away when they start seeing you succeed. because it's going to make them feel uncomfortable. And you're going to find out who your friends are. Your friends are the ones that are going to celebrate you when you see the victories. They're going to believe in you. They're going to push you. They're going to tell you, quit laying down on yourself. Get up and fight. You're a champion. You're better than that. You're stronger than that. And I don't care how old you are. There's people that have changed their life at the age of 70, 80, 90 years old. Get up and fight, ladies. So your goal is this week to write something down. Write your vision down so that you know what you're fighting for. And when you look in that refrigerator, I want you to go to that refrigerator. I want you to get everything out of that refrigerator that is stopping you. You go to those cabinets and you say, you know, enough of the compromise. It's time for me to change my life and quit making excuses for why I'm staying right here in this misery where I don't want to be. And I'm going to fight for myself because I deserve better than this and I am better than this. And you fight. Because you are able to get to your goal. You are able. You've done much bigger things than this. Look at what you've made it through in your lifetime. You fight, believe, push yourself. Get a goal, ladies. I'm going to be reaching out. Tony and I are going to be reaching out to every single one of you. And we're going to say, what is your goal this month? We want to know. We're writing it down. We're going to hold you accountable. I want you to put it in the group. I want you to hold yourself accountable. And I want you to quit cheesing out and flaking out on yourself. Let's fight. Let's change our lives. You're worth it. You came here to change your life. I love you, ladies. Have a great night, and thanks for joining me right here. Thanks for being here at Bod Babes. You know, I really believe that we are world-changing women. That we are world-changing women. That, you know what? We can change the world around us. Maybe I'm not going to touch everyone's life across this nation, but you know what? We are world-changing women. We're going to change our lives. We're going to be great examples. We're going to step up to the plate and show them what a strong woman looks like. Have a great night, ladies. I love you.